there is one room in this world where decisions about peace, sanction, military action, wars are taken. And India wants a seat in that room again. And that will be done through the UNSC non-permanent seat election coming up for 2028-29. But the question here is, will this seat change anything for India? Is this just another diplomatic election where India wants its name? Or there can be any permanent change coming from this particular candidature? Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and in today's session we are not just going to talk about that India is signing up for 2028-29 non-permanent seat in UN Security Council, but we will be understanding that what exactly India wants through that seat, how UNSC functions, and most importantly, what is the distribution and end result about it. So let us begin with understanding that how this has been in news. So India has basically already launched its official campaign for the UN Security Council non-permanent seat for the term of 2028-29. And now this campaign has been unveiled by our External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar. Now this unveiling has been done in New York, and the important thing to remember here is that we are not the only one to take up this candidature. We are going against Tajikistan against the single seat. So basically there is only one seat that is available and two contenders as of now. One is India and the other one is Tajikistan. India not just only launched its campaign, India also laid out the theme. That means if we get the seat, just like when you are fighting for election, what you are going to do. So India has said that if we get the seat, our aim is to bring Shanti. The theme is Shanti. What does it mean? Securing holistic advancement through norms, trust, and also integrity, which is a much required need to be fulfilled when we are looking at the rule-based order. Now in this context, let us start from the scratch, understanding that how exactly did we get only one seat? How many seats are there? And other things around, especially United Nations Security Council. So first we have to understand what exactly is UNSC. UNSC happens to be one of the principal organs of the United Nations. So how many principal organs are there? There are total 6 principal organs. One of them is United Nations Security Council. Can you tell me in the comment section which are the other 5? Now when we are looking at UNSC, it was established in 1945 just like other 6 principal organs, and it was based on UN Charter. Now what does this principal organ of United Nations do? It is responsible for maintaining international peace and security. Now if you look at this timeline, that means this was established after World War II. And after World War II, what did we see? We see certain countries coming out and winning the war, certain countries losing it. Please remember this when we talk about the distribution of seats. Now, UN Security Council is responsible for international peace and security. How do they do it? They do it by preventing and resolving international conflicts. They are the one who authorize the UN peacekeeping missions, which India is also part of and India immensely contributes to. UNSC is also responsible for imposing economic sanctions. So if a country is not cooperating on the given mandate, then the pressure can be created through economic sanctions. UNSC can also approve military intervention. They can recommend that admission of this particular country can be done as a UN member, and they are also responsible for recommending the appointment of UN Secretary General. So whoever will be the Secretary General of United Nations, the recommendation of that appointment comes from this very principal organ. Now this principal organ, as I said, was made after World War II, and the membership was distributed accordingly. Now the one running this principal organ are 15 members who compose the UN Security Council. Out of this 15, first we will talk about 5. Why I am going to talk about these 5? Because these 5 seats are permanently given to specific countries. They go by the name permanent members itself. So when we are looking at permanent members, US, Russia, China, United Kingdom and France. These are the 5 seats which have been taken permanently since 1945 by these 5 countries itself. Now these are the countries, they have a very special power at their discretion apart from having a permanent seat in one of the most important organs and most functional, most vocal organ of United Nations. That power is veto power. That means, let's just say when we are talking about these 15 members, 14 members, they are saying yes, and 1 member, but that member is, let's just say, a permanent member, and they say no. That means that resolution will fail. So that is the veto power that is available only to the permanent members. Now there are 10 seats left. Those 10 seats are given to the non-permanent members. Now these non-permanent members are elected because the seats are not fixed by the country. They are elected every 2 years. They have no veto power, but they can raise issues, bring in resolutions and more. And when we are looking at 5 members, they are elected every year. So 5 members elected 1 year, then they will continue for 2. The next year we will be electing for the next 5. Now these 10 seats are also distributed across the region. If we look at this given map, first we have Africa, we have Asia Pacific, we have Eastern Europe, we have Latin America and Caribbean, and then we have Western Europe and other. So you can clearly see 5 regions have been brought together. But if we have 10 seats and 5 members, ideally 2 seats should be given to each. But that did not happen. What did we see? That Africa got 3 seats, Asia Pacific got 2 seats, Latin American Caribbean got 2 seats, Western Europe and others, this region got 2 seats, and Eastern Europe was left with only 1 seat. Now when we are talking about based on population, Asia Pacific could have got better regional distribution and the membership coming out of it. But whatever happened, happened. Now this is where you should understand that this distribution shows that how the spoils of World War II were distributed. So one side we had Allied powers, 3 main victors including Soviet Union, US and United Kingdom, which were supported by China and France. So all of these countries have the what? Permanent membership. When we are looking at the regions which suffered the defeat, they did not have a bigger stake, and the regional distribution has been as per the permanent members itself. This distribution as of now does not help the modern issues and concerns. We will be talking about that later. Now I hope you have a clear idea that how non-permanent seats look like, and India is contesting for the 1 seat that is going to be vacant in the term of 2028-29. Because we fall in the Asia Pacific region. India is going to contest, and the second country to contest in Tajikistan. Now, why did I say in the starting that India is going to contest again? Because India has held the non-permanent seat multiple times before as well. Can you tell me in the comment section how many times? I'll be revealing it to you soon, but can you take a guess that how many times India has already held the non-permanent member seat? Now let us immediately move to understand that India has launched the campaign for some term that is coming 2 years later, why India wants that seat. So the first reason India has done it already because the voting will be taking place soon in the next year, but the reason behind is wider and deeper. What India wants from this seat is to ensure that they are able to participate in the decisions which are being made for global peace and security. India does not want to be on sideline. India wants to be a participant. India wants to contribute. And if India does not have a seat on the table, India will not be able to do so. Second thing, India has been branding itself as the leader of Global South. That means it wants to facilitate country in the development, especially when we are talking about Global South. So in this context, if India wants to help or be the leader, India again needs the seat at the table. So if India has to represent, India wants the seat. Second, this is where India is going to push for stronger global action against terrorism, especially since last year after the Pahalgam attack, India has changed its anti-terrorism doctrine. It has taken a stronger stance, and this is where India wants to show this, that this effort needs to be global. It cannot come from a single country to go against terrorism and stop it. And if they want to spread this message, bring people on the platform, they need a platform to do so. Apart from that, India also wants to promote climate justice, sustainable development, and most importantly, this will be a very good place for India so that they can strengthen the maritime security and also their presence and stakeholdership in the Indo-Pacific region. All in all, it will definitely give a huge enhancement to the India's diplomatic image. But India, once gets the seat at the table, there will be a lot that India can contribute to, not just for the world, but for themselves as well. And that is exactly why India is looking for this seat. Now, when we are talking about this election, as I said, India has already been on that seat. India has served 8 times already as a non-permanent member, starting from 1950, 51, 67, 68, 72, 73, 77, 78, 84, 85, 91 to 92, and then in the most recent time 2011, 12 and 21, 22. The next time we are eyeing for is 2028 to 29. Now, when we are looking at this, the most important thing that needs to be understood is not just the fact that India wants a seat at the UNSC table. India also wants to change the table. India wants to make the table bigger, and India wants to ensure that India and other countries have also the bigger share of the pie that is present. But how can that be done? That will only be done when the pie is changed. That means we are also looking at India as a strong voice for the United Security Council reforms. That is why I kept pointing in the start about the composition of UNSC, because India also clearly believes that the structure of UNSC reflects the world of 1945, not the world of 2026. Africa, Latin America, both which do not have permanent seat, they deserve permanent representation. Veto power, which ensures the interest of permanent members, it blocks the action during global conflicts. How? Let's just say there is a resolution against Iran and China blocks it. That resolution cannot pass. Global unanimous decision cannot be taken. And this is when we are talking about the image of 2026, emerging powers, the power scenario is also changing. This is when emerging powers like India, Brazil, Germany and Japan, they still do not have a permanent category. And that is why reform process is also important here, which has been redundantly slow in the past few decades because opposition is coming from some countries. If you want to take a guess which countries, these countries would be the permanent members, because that will dilute their power and it will bring other emerging powers into the picture. So if India gets a seat at the table, India can also talk about these reforms, bring these reforms, pitch them and ensure that the speed at which these reforms are being addressed is accelerated. So as of now, this campaign is not just about why India wants it, but also what India can do. And India is looking forward to supporting the expansion of not just non-permanent members, but permanent members as well. Because if you see this whole context, you will be able to understand that India's aspirations and ambitions, especially in global governance, they are rising. And they are not just to address the global problems, global concerns, but also our own. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. If you have any doubt, that also you can put down in the comment section. I'll be leaving you here with a very simple prelims practice question. Let me see how many of you are able to answer it. Put down your answers in the comment section. I'll be waiting for them. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.